You're sitting over there.
I just not feeling the best, and so I'm staying away from people.
Right, we are live and broadcasting.
Thank you, Dave, because I.
Lisa's sorting them out.
I've got them, hold on, I'm sorry. Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
Take one, pass it down, is that it?
Yeah. Thank you, Deb.
Anyone wants chocolate, I have chocolate.
Good to know.
All right, so we are Parks and Rec. We're starting our November 14th meeting. We're gonna start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
It'd be good to make officers official.
Okay. That's under
Oh,
number
yeah,
5.
right there, never mind, never mind.
Okay, so no amendments. Do we have any public comment? Okay, we do have a member of the public who is observing our meeting today. All right, so the first point of business is to elect a new chairperson, since Janine has resigned.
I know, I make a motion that we elect Pam as our new board chair.
I second that motion.
Any discussion?
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank
We had to do it quickly before you
What?
thought about it.
Oh. Kind of
Surprised Craig's not
blindsided
here.
me. All right, so Denise, are you doing your notes?
I am.
You're doing minutes, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Did we get September minutes approved at the last meeting? I don't think we reviewed them.
No.
And we didn't get October ones yet.
So we have technically we have 3 sets for October. We have 2 for October 10th.
Yep.
Public and non-public.
Okay.
And I think you have the copies I had given you before I left, the copies of the non-public.
Yep,
And then,
they're in the Bible.
so, we have the 10th, 2 public and non-public, and then the 17th.
Which was our budget discussion, correct?
I think the 10th was the, yes, the
Okay.
17th was the budget.
Okay.
And all of those got sent out to all the committee
Okay.
members.
All right.
And to Beth, so she could post the
Okay,
drafts
so
are posted.
I didn't bring the football, Janine's football, so I don't have the minutes, so
Okay.
they're in there.
Okay.
So can we put off the minute discussion until December?
Yep.
Okay,
The ones that I gave you for the non-public would have to be approved, signed and put in the envelope,
yep,
and then destroyed, I think.
okay. No.
They go in the
They
vault.
go in the vault, yeah,
Right, but I gave you a copy, I think,
yes,
for each of us so we could review them.
Yes.
I didn't email them.
yes. And then after we review them and we have the
You will
one
take
copy
them
that
back.
goes in
Yeah.
the vault, and then we will destroy the other
And
ones.
I mentioned last meeting that the board of selectmen were about to approve a non-public minutes policy. We did. I'll send that out before we do that review of the non-public minutes. It's pretty straightforward.
All right. Tennis courts, the nets were taken down. They are stored in the pickleball box, the net, when you first walk in the gate, that mechanism right there, that first one on the first pole, the linchpin thing came out. So it is inside the pickleball on the ledge on the left-hand side. I don't know what it's for. It fell out when we
On the net,
undid it. Yeah.
It's always falls out.
Okay.
It's broken and we always tie it to the string.
Okay.
Because we're gonna need it next year.
Okay, well, I didn't know what it was because Josh and
Yeah.
John and Craig were doing the heavy lifting part of it, so I just picked it up and put it in there because it wasn't there when I walked in,
It
so.
put it in where?
It's in the pickleball box on the
Okay.
left-hand side, right
Yeah,
on the
'cause-
ledge.
You'll need that, it's the pin that holds it in, and we'll need it next year.
Okay,
So, I think we just still have to make a decision about the final locking of the gate.
I think we just change the
Right.
code
Right, are we doing
and put a
that
message and just say it, you know, the tennis
closed.
courts are closed until,
until we
spring.
make a yeah,
Yep.
so do we wanna close them effective tonight, or?
I haven't seen anyone using them, and I haven't gotten any emails
Yeah.
that people have been calling for the code. So I think at this point, everyone's done.
All right.
Pickleball's not using it, right?
I've been out of town,
You've
so
been-
I don't
okay,
know.
okay.
People may show up to use it, but they'll take the nets out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think it's at that time of the year where we could get snow.
Yeah, I think we should just,
Mm-hmm. So I can try this week I'll change
Yep.
the code, but I
Change the
won't
code.
publicize
Yep.
it on the, maybe I'll just change the message to say that tennis courts are closed for the season.
Yeah.
until spring.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
yep,
And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a big pile of brush.
Mm-hmm.
And I had asked Jason to pick it up, if the DPW would pick it up, and he said yes. That was about 3 weeks ago. So
Was it inside or outside
it's
the,
outside.
okay.
I put it so they could back right up to the hill, and,
okay,
so I may need to call him again. I didn't realize, somebody told me it was still there.
okay,
I thought it had gotten picked up, but I'll have to call him.
okay. I didn't notice it, so,
Yeah, somebody told me it was still there, so I'll just have to ask him. I thought he was gonna snag it.
did you follow up with him about the trees at Jace?
No, because I only saw your email around 6 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
I was gone all day, so, I'll ask him about the trees at the same time,
Okay,
and I'll ask him about the, picking up that brush before it snows.
okay. Anything else with the tennis courts?
I think so.
Dave, are you
Oh,
all
I was
set?
gonna ask, did you put, what did I use? I used the metal, the Brillo pads or
Oh,
whatever, not
yeah.
Brillo, but some sort of mesh in the little holes. I can go do it if you.
I did not do anything like that.
Okay, would it still be there from last year? It was to keep the mice out.
I doubt it.
Okay, so
If
I'll
you wanna
pick
shove
that up,
something
yeah.
in there, that'd be great.
Just text me the code, please.
Well, right now, it's still I gotta go look and see what it is. Look it up.
It was, I can't remember what it's called. It's not Brillo pads, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
Steel
mesh.
wool?
Steel wool, thank you.
All right. We haven't received any field usage forms. Correct?
No.
Okay, so that is all set. Fulton Park. The last meeting, we had discussed closing November 30th or December 1st until April 30th. Are we going to publicize
I think we should.
that
Say that-
on Facebook?
Yeah, that we're gonna lock that gate, and then I'll get a lock for it. I haven't gotten one yet.
until when did you say?
I thought it was April 30th.
April 30th?
Or until, we may.
I think we said we'd revisit if we had
Okay.
an early spring, or
Okay,
Yeah,
we could always make it earlier or later.
Or
but-
do it like school vacation week.
Yeah,
When kids are
I
out.
think we
and it's
revisit
starting to warm.
if.
we need to look at how much snow and,
No, there's one in the end of February, beginning of March, and then there's another one the last week of April.
Mhm.
There's two, there's a week each.
So revisit if ground is,
yeah, I think we
Ready.
can put that off till February or March. My only concern is WAC getting out for sports, but I think that was part of our discussion.
That was part of the, that's
Last
part of the
month.
problem is they've been trying to get on it really early. That's why they rented space last time, because it's the season of field hockey.
No, lacrosse.
Lacrosse. I get the
And
two mixed
lacrosse
up.
starts really early.
Yeah. But it's just not ready. The fields aren't ready.
Yeah.
Setting an alarm for myself for steel wool.
All right. So Chase Park,
Can I add one
Yep.
more on Bolton Park? I just want to recognize Cub Scout Pack 24 did a
Yes.
cleanup there. My son is part of that pack, so I was there and did did those two blue canopy things. But they did a very good job.
They did.
Did a ton of pulling weeds from the roots, a lot of cutting brush back from the fence, clearing out the donor plaque, the donor bricks, clearing out around the shed, clearing a path out to the wellhead, raking the sandbox, blowing out the tubes and whatnot.
That's awesome.
so.
it looked
Yeah,
great
came together
when they
really
were
well.
done.
We should
Yeah.
probably post something about that on the Facebook page.
Thanking them.
I did make a comment on their post on behalf of Parks and Rec too.
You did? Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
But I would put something,
I wonder if, let me see if I can find their post and then just share it on ours. It was 24, right?
Pack 24. I think you have to look for Cub Scout.
Yeah, I have it.
All right, so moving on to Chase Park, the trees, you're gonna double check when you talk
yeah,
with
I will.
Jason, Denise?
I'll call him tomorrow.
Okay. The lifeguard reimbursement request, was that still part of our October non-public? Yes, okay, we're gonna hold off on that then,
I thought we finalized
I
it.
think we finalized that we were gonna pay it,
okay.
yeah.
Did we ever get the documentation that we needed? To pay it?
I sent a message to that lifeguard.
I thought we,
I
yeah,
thought
I
we
thought I
got it.
saw something
Yeah.
about.
And then, yeah, there was some, so it should have been paid. Let me just double check with
If
them.
that was in the first meeting in October, I wasn't here, so I'm not sure.
We didn't get a budget again
I forgot to ask Beth for it.
I mean, I'm just
It
wondering
used
if
to be sent to
it
Janine.
could be every,
Well, Janine used to get it every single,
I mean,
So-
I guess I feel like we shouldn't have to ask, like,
well, I don't
on the
think she-
Tuesdays of our meeting, we should
Yeah.
get it.
I don't think Janine was asking. I think she just gave it to her.
And maybe she just sent it to Janine instead of sending
Yeah.
it to Park.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. Do you think we could get that? I know, I'll wait till we get to budget.
And I'm on on the Cub Scout Pack 24 page, and I do not see that post.
I don't know if they posted it or a parent posted it.
Yeah.
Somebody posted it.
Was it on one of the where pages?
Could have been.
Yeah, which I don't.
We could
Oh.
just make a post.
Yeah.
Somebody had posted pictures somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I will look. There's just too many pictures.
So you're gonna check with Beth on
The
whether
budget,
the reimbursement got paid?
Yep, I just sent, well, I actually just sent,
Okay.
yep, it did get paid. Yep.
all right, I have the post.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Can you share it on the?
Yep.
Thank you. Just say thank you. Okay. We are trucking along on this tonight. All right,
Library, we don't have any
no,
business with them at that moment. So the budget, I will send Beth an email to ask if she can send it out to us, just so we can see where we are.
and if it could just come monthly?
Yep.
Maybe a few days before.
Yep,
I mean, at the selectman level, we've been making different requests of her to change up like what we get, and she's been very, very good about that.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I don't think
she's
there'll be any
wonderful.
Yeah,
problem at all.
no.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
But if we could get that sent out, because kind of, I think it would be helpful to know where we are for the end of the year.
yep.
And I don't think we've really spent anything, but then
We've
bills
got
could have
a
come in.
whole bunch of
Yeah,
bills
we've
right
got
there,
those.
so,
Under budget,
yep,
so we circulated an email after this last meeting related to the internet and the phone bill.
Yeah.
Remember the increase in phone
Yep.
bill? So we have two phone lines so that phone line that we use for the tennis courts, we're getting charged for.
okay,
So that was one increase in that line item. And then the internet at the lake is the biggest.
And I asked about that.
Yeah, and so the question I think that got asked in an email that we probably should address here is, do we need internet at the lake? Can we drop it?
well, we want to be able to take credit cards at the lake,
But we're not taking it all winter, and we didn't take it
Right.
last year.
right?
So really, I mean, we're gonna continue to incur a
Yep.
bill. That line item is gonna continue
Yeah,
because unless we disconnect it,
can we cancel the internet at the lake and look at another option for internet access, like getting a MiFi hotspot type thing?
And there is still Comcast who said,
Hi.
as part of the agreement with the town for Comcast, they would at least do a drop there, so if they put a drop, we'd at least have a competitive service.
Okay. How do we look at that?
I'll take that action item.
Okay,
While we're on Chase Park, this is actually probably a really good thing.
okay,
We actually have a student from John Stark for public comment.
okay.
just
Let-
to finish up. the
Let's
one
just
that-
finish the budget and then we'll go back to that.
So the phone that we use for the tennis courts costs us $16 a month.
Okay,
The Chase Park phone is $49 a month. And the internet is $81.63 a month.
okay.
What's the difference between two phones?
I have no idea what kind of phones they have at the,
Do we not have calling out on the other phone line or something? 'Cause it's
I mean,
one of those
the tennis court is really just a voicemail.
box. Yeah. So, but Chase Park, you can call out.
So, I don't recall if we budgeted the phone. I think
We did.
we increased it.
We also talked about finding out who had authorization to modify that. So, do y'all know?
I think,
I didn't.
to modify with the phone company? So I had to go upstairs and have Beth or
Yeah, Monique.
do it. One of them did it.
Okay. And they were able to get past all the,
Yeah,
okay.
well,
'Cause that was the problem a few months ago.
I take that back. I went up and told them what the issue was and the expense, and I got this email back. So I don't know if they called them or Beth just said, this is what they're paying for. So I don't know if they ever,
Okay. And I ask because I would be in favor of suspend it, cancel it, whatever, for the winter, but somebody
there's like a
authorized has to
re-auth-
do that.
And there's a reauthorization fee. There's some sort of like re-upping fee. There was a problem with that, but it might be worth it now that we've got the internet there.
well, I
Do it
could,
that way.
I mean, I could come back down and ask if one of them can call and find out, can we suspend it? I know sometimes they let you drop it way down, and then just activate it again. I could come down and talk to Beth and see if she could call. I don't know if they ever called, to be honest with you. I just asked them to find out why it was so high.
Antifreeze
Yeah, that'd be
for the
helpful,
lines at
I think.
Yeah.
the toilets at Chase Park, right? It was antifreeze?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there was a,
Got it.
should have been a bill from.
I've got it.
Any other questions about the budget? Okay. We're gonna switch back to public comment for Sophia Lundeen to give us an update on her senior project. Okay.
Hi, Soph.
Hi. Hello, my name is Sophia, and for the past 4 years I've worked at Chase Park, and I know how hard we work there and take pride in the changes to the cleanliness. And one of the areas that we still need to work on is our lost and found. Every day we find like things that people leave or that they've lost, and we organize them behind the gatehouse on the rocks in hopes that people will come back and get them. But it's a constant battle with the wind and the rain and some other things to keep this looking neat. So for my senior project, I would like to build a lost and found stand, and I will fundraise for this, build it and place this stand behind the gatehouse. And if you will allow this, I will come back to the December meeting with 2 or 3 designs for your approval. And thank you for your consideration, and do you have any questions I can answer?
I think that's a really great idea.
I do. I love the idea, actually. Yeah. That, it is a mess back there sometimes, and if it was organized, and you're right, with the rain, everything gets wet, and I've seen you folks out there trying to hang stuff up to dry, towels and things. And then I've also seen it get lost and float down the boat ramp. So I think that's a wonderful idea.
How
Love
would
it.
you, with the rock there, is there enough room to build something?
I'm hoping to build something that's like, have you seen like the 4 cube things? Like kind of like that, so it's thinner.
Okay,
But I'm hoping to be able to have like little hooks to hang up like towels and things like that.
okay.
Maybe, and like maybe some sort of, maybe a roof or something that would come off of the
Yeah.
back of the gatehouse. That would work. If it came a little, just low, but underneath the window, to keep it dry. I like the idea a lot.
I really do too.
Wish I'd thought of it.
Yeah, I think, if you wanna work up a couple of designs, go take measurements and figure out what will ultimately work there.
Okay.
That will be really great, and you can come back to December meeting. You graduate in June, right?
Yes.
So you're under a time crunch to get this done. Okay. I think that's a really good idea.
Do a motion for it, or no?
I don't think we might need to make a motion when we talk about it next. If we
Yes.
agree on a design.
Bring us with the designs, and then we will go from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
great idea.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right. All right, let's talk about our seniors.
So, just to give you an update, and I need quite a bit of input from here. So, because I'd like to meet with the school in the next day or 2. And also the deadline for the next issue of Where newsletter.
Oh, yeah.
It's Friday. So we want to get something in there. So anyways, I just did a very high-level workup. And believe me, this could be totally off, but, so, the school had asked us to limit at least to 50. I think they prefer closer to 40, 45. So I want to get a confirmation from them.
Okay.
But I would say, let's figure maybe 45. And I tried to put together what we would serve. In the portions, I did some research on the internet on per person kind of stuff. Then I compared prices at 2 grocery stores to try to drop in what I thought it would cost. The different things that we might need, and I'm not saying I haven't forgotten something, but I just wanted to come here tonight with somewhat of an estimate, which is kind of why I wanted to see the budget. If I recall, the last budget we looked at, we had $900 left
I
for the
believe so,
seniors.
Yeah.
And so if we went with the 45, which is the middle, it would approximately be $650. That could be more or less. So as far as the turkey goes, at first I looked at buying 3 or 4 turkeys obviously at a lower price, but then I got to thinking, that's a lot to cook versus buying boneless turkeys and just slicing it, which drove the price way up because the price per pound, it's about $4.50. Just based on what I looked today, that's not shopping around. So it's possible that we could get it for less.
Okay.
But I think, and the other thing I had thought about was throwing in a couple of hams, but I don't know if that makes it more complicated, and really need to talk to the school, what they could do, but tried to keep it simple with potato stuffing, 1 vegetable gravy, 2 kinds of pies, and call it a day. Things like coffee and stuff like that, I have to talk to the school to see if they could make that, or, I don't know, I halfway thought about going to Dunkin' Donuts and seeing if they would donate a couple boxes of,
Of Joe.
yeah, which I can still do. So anyways, so that, I just wanted to get a sense from everybody, are we on board with kind of the direction? And I think, so again, to remind everybody, it's December 6th, starts at 4, they'd like to end by 5:30. The student council is gonna spearhead it, and the music department is going to do a scaled down performance of their Christmas recital. So, it would be nice if we were all there. If
My only
possible.
issue is that Wednesdays are our late days and I work until 7.
Okay, so.
What day is it?
So Wednesday.
Wednesday?
December
and it-
6th.
And that was the date
I
that
think we can do it.
the school asked me,
I think
Yeah.
I
To
mean,
pick.
yeah. I think
I
I
just-
can make it.
don't wanna be there by myself, but
Yeah.
anyways.
I'll be there.
And I hope to meet with the school this week to just to round things out, but here's a couple logistical things I wanted to work out. So if we are asked to keep it to 45, then we would have to publish it as a first come, first serve.
Yep.
And I wanna make sure that there isn't, we're apt to get some complaints, but there again, when we did the baskets, we were only doing
Yeah,
One group.
one group in a very small number, so, and not that we couldn't expand this in the future, this is kind of just like our maiden voyage to see if we could really pull this off.
Yep.
Plus being a nice thing to do with the school. So, are we all okay with limiting it to the 45? And based on that, my second question would be, when you say seniors, everybody, I think the common definition is over 55, but do we have the opportunity to say seniors over the age of, to kind of
Narrow it down.
narrow it down?
How do we do the baskets, Lisa? How does the seniorites, the wearites, how did
I
they?
think it's anybody who can join, anybody who joins that.
I think they
But they
gave
had a
us their
limited-
list.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a limited number, cause
They
they
only
just gave
had
us a
like
list.
12, 15
Right, but-
members.
Yeah,
Did you have to be a certain age to join the wearites?
I think you just have to be a
I
senior,
think you have to be over 55.
Okay.
yeah.
But here's
But
what I
people
would,
don't join until
Right.
they're older.
here's what I was thinking is if we even just bumped it to over 65 and over.
I think keeping
What
with,
is the Chase Park?
it's 65.
We need to change it to 65?
Yep.
So we
I would
could be
just do what we
consistent with
consider
that.
Chase Park is
Yep.
what we consider a senior.
That makes sense.
So here's what I was thinking is that I could create 45 tickets.
Mhm.
And my plan was to reach out to the head of the Ware-Rights, Hands in Hands, publish it in the newsletter, put it on our Facebook page if somebody could do that.
Yep.
Was gonna try to do a flyer.
Mhm.
Actually, I was gonna see if the school would get an art student to do the flyer, but anyways, somehow we gotta get something put together fairly quickly. And my thought process was, and again, maybe not the right way to approach it, but could we have half the tickets at Hands in Hands where they, it's in the center, you could stop it and pick them up, first come, first serve, and half of them here at the town office, or would that be a problem? At the,
I think that would be an issue,
okay,
because it's two roles, I don't want to cross them.
if you weren't on the committee, I would go in there and ask them.
Yep,
I'd ask Maureen, could we leave these tickets here?
So you could
Or-
ask Maureen.
I could ask, but,
I could ask.
yeah,
Or do we just leave them all see if Hands in Hands would, I just don't want people to
But
think
then
that
didn't we have
looks
that
like.
issue because one of them was Hands in Hands and one's was.
Yeah, I
later?
just wanted it to look like it,
Yep.
to some degree it was, or I could go to the library and ask the library if we
Yeah.
could leave
they might be.
That's a good idea.
yeah.
25 at the library and 25 at Hands in Hands, or
Yep.
leave them all at the library.
That's it, because we can't leave any at,
The library has more hours
Okay?
that they're available.
and that way
So,
they're not
um,
at one of the two
right.
seniorites.
So let me talk to
Clay.
Clay and see if we could leave all 45 of them there. And again, and I would just tell him, first come, first serve, maybe just to ask, are you over 65,
Yep.
kind of thing. And then we'll just have to find if we get any
We
negative-
could also, I don't know, if, I was thinking we could do like a Google form, they fill it out, and then we have a list of who has requested it, and then we know they can just check off the name.
Well, maybe what I could do is create the ticket such that
Yep,
they fill their name and contact.
that's, yep,
We keep one and they get the
The
other.
other.
I
I
could
was
try,
just about to suggest something like that.
Yep.
It's, basically a two-part thing,
Yep.
yeah,
half the ticket they can keep for themselves, because then if they lose the ticket and everything else like that, then they're like, I can't find my ticket, so if we have their name and information.
we'll have a record
We'll
of
have a
it.
way to say, okay, yeah, you are number 22, so you're fine, come on in.
right. So
I
I
like
could,
that idea.
yeah, so I could try to create those.
Just do like a,
All you need is first name,
Yeah.
last name,
I
phone
have some
number, and if
cardstock
they
paper
have,
at home. I'll figure something out.
Okay.
and if they have an email address.
And what I may do, I'll ask for their phone number, but I'll also I'll probably put my phone number for some reason if they wanna call and cancel, cause that would be the other thing, we could keep a waiting list.
Yep.
Somebody were, if we were to be overwhelmed by them. I mean, it would be great if we were. I hate to think we'd turn anybody away, but right now, I think we're all starting this out,
yep.
even the school, I'm not sure how this is all gonna work.
Who's gonna cook?
The students are going to cook.
Okay,
That's why I need to meet with them this week, but
okay,
it's the facts.
Yep.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
back, yeah,
Yep,
The
family
facts-
and consumer.
Consumer
Yeah,
science.
the facts students are gonna do the cooking.
okay.
Now, I priced like the pies as if we bought them already made to reduce that. But I'm assuming they would do the other, all the rolls will buy already made.
Yep.
I need to talk to them about cooking turkeys, mashed potatoes, things like that, but they may even say they wanna do the pies, it's up to them.
I think that might be asking a lot of them.
It's what they want, I'm
Yeah.
kinda leaving it up
Okay.
to what they're looking to do and what the student council
Okay.
is looking to do, that's why I really need to meet with them this week. Because I'm assuming that I probably will end up doing the shopping, unless they say they want the students to do it, but
Yep.
I'm guessing it's probably gonna be
I don't know
me.
if they would be able to get the
Right.
students to do it because
Right.
it's a field
Right.
trip and, but,
So what I'll probably do is just do the shopping and then I'll submit the receipts
Yep.
for reimbursement.
I don't know if you have like a Sam's or BJ's membership.
I used to have a Sam's, I don't anymore.
I have both. If you want, we can go together on,
Yeah,
like
that'd
if
be
we do it on like a Saturday.
Yep,
and that might help get,
Most of these
more.
prices, like most of these prices are Walmart
yep,
prices.
okay,
I did look at Hannaford's, and then on some of them that were way off, I went to the middle
yep.
amount.
The only number I've got a question on is the number of pounds of turkey.
That's $4.50 a pound.
That's the
No,
cost.
but like, coming in at, if it were 50 people, 75, so 75 pounds of turkey, which seems, you'd said you'd look at some numbers that may have made sense for
Pound and a
like
half.
bone in.
I think it's pound and a half.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot for, if, but,
Right, so I could, and again, I might work with the school because they have a cafeteria and
Yep,
cooks
Yeah.
and stuff. I went to the high side on everything,
okay.
so I could give you a worst-case scenario, but,
Yeah, well, because you had said that you went from, you'd gone from regular turkey to boneless, it felt
Right,
like, well,
right.
the boneless would be less,
right,
would be fewer pounds.
correct. With bone-in, I think it was like 1.5.
Yeah.
What is in there. I dropped it all in a spreadsheet, so I can quickly change it if I need to, but
I only bring it up just so
Yep.
we don't end up with 75 pounds of turkey and,
well, and that's the other thing is, you know, when to shop. That's why I kind of want to meet with them this
Yep.
week, because Thanksgiving coming, there could be no turkeys after Thanksgiving. So it may be that we decide on how many we need to buy, and I run out before Thanksgiving and get what we need. And I know they dropped the prices after Thanksgiving, but like last year, you couldn't barely find a turkey.
yeah, that's rolling the dice.
It is a roll of the dice. So, so I think it's just a matter of seeing what we could get for the best price. And the school may say, we don't want to cook bone in,
yep.
or they might say, yeah, no problem. I don't know what their capacity is.
I would also ask if we bought them, if we could put them in their freezer.
Okay.
Because they have the walk-in freezers in the
Alright, perfect.
cafeteria. Did you include roasting pans?
Right at the bottom where it says tin
Okay.
pans, I didn't
Yep.
put the price in,
Yep,
because I didn't have a chance to price them out, but I did add them to my list.
okay,
Tin pans for, I probably don't have enough now that I think about it, but the mashed potatoes would go in the stuffings. I'd have to buy some plastic serving spoons potentially.
yep, okay,
I priced out 100 count, where you get the forks, knives, and spoons all together at Walmart. You can pick that up for $9.99. That would be more than enough. I might just pick up an extra thing of spoons. I figured coffee cups, cold cups, you know, maybe iced tea and punch to drink.
okay.
So I was trying to think of everything, and then maybe the school would say, oh, you forgot. I mean, salt and pepper butter.
Yeah,
And then I don't know if we had leftovers. My only thought was, if the school doesn't want to keep them, I could go to Hands and Hands and see if the cook there might take the leftovers to make turkey sandwiches or soup or,
yep,
I wonder
If
if the school
everybody was
could use them
okay.
for staff, like a staff dinner or staff lunch the next day, if there's leftovers.
I mean, what, it's up to you guys. I can either ask them if they want to keep it or just offer it up to Hands and Hands. If they turn it down, then I'd probably go to Hands and Hands
Yeah.
and just donate it there.
I'd probably go to hand in hand.
All right, so the plan is that I'm gonna reach out to the school, hopefully tomorrow, and try to meet with them before Friday. Get something in the Ware newsletter for the deadline on Friday. Basically to say, we have 45 slots, first come, first serve, over the age of 65. Go to the library to get, and just publish that Parks and Rec is doing it in partnership with the Ware Middle School.
Okay,
If that sounds all right to everybody.
that sounds fine.
Thank you. Is there anything that I'm missing, that like, or if you look at this and you think of something, would you email me?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you know.
I think it's very thorough
Yep.
and very well done.
Oh, Thank
Denise, do you want to put Saturday, December 2nd on your schedule for shopping?
yeah, sure. Yep. And if I were to go out, I might go out though and do the turkeys.
Yep,
Beforehand, only for fear we wouldn't find
right,
any.
yep,
I think we might have one we could possibly donate to, I'm not sure.
And then maybe what I'll do you know when you go in Dunkin' Donuts, you just ask to talk to the manager?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And if not, I might go back to Hands and Hands and see if they have a big coffee pot.
Yep.
Oh, I have the manager on my
'Cause
Facebook, I'm like Facebook
The
friends with
school,
her.
I think, also has the
Okay.
coffee urns, and, the athletic director may have the 5-gallon igloo
Okay.
drink thing to mix punch up,
Oh,
so.
yeah.
That or the other thing I was thinking is I would buy like a couple gallons of
Yeah,
iced tea and a couple gallons of already made punch. I'm trying to think about dishes afterwards and all that kind of stuff, which actually you may wanna. So, it really just, and I put some money in to go out to the dollar store and buy some colorful, tablecloths. And was thinking that I might even ask the school if the art program might wanna do some,
centerpieces.
centerpieces, something that maybe we stick a dot on the back of somebody's chair and whoever sits in that chair gets to take it home or whatever, I don't
Okay.
know. But anyways, I
I
thought I
think
would
that
ask
might,
for that.
I think that might need a little bit more planning to do something like that.
Yeah,
So we can probably keep that for next time.
Yep.
But maybe just if we're going to the dollar store, you can get they have,
Yeah.
a little Christmas themed something, but we can still
well, I
do
have a whole
that.
bunch at home that I could bring in there,
There you
just
go.
say, I have canning jars that I could quickly
I like
shoot out,
that.
so.
Yeah, Aunt Kathy can make bows like crazy, so I can
Oh,
have her
there you
make
go.
bows.
All right, so if you think of anything I forgot, shoot me an email, because I'm gonna try to meet with the school tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay.
And again, December 6th, we probably would get there. I'll put an email out at what time they're gonna want us there, but the seniors would arrive at 4.
Okay.
The other thing I could see would be those wooden sticks for stirring the coffee.
Either that or I was
The wooden
thinking,
ones, the plastic ones,
Yeah.
the coffee stirrers.
either that or I would pick up a whole.
Maybe
extra thing of
Dunkin's to donate
spoons.
it.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Well, yeah,
Donate-
usually if you get the
They
box
do the
that Joe
cream, the sugar, the.
stirs.
Yeah, they would do everything if I
Yeah.
want, that's why I thought Dunkin's might be easier.
Okay.
All right,
All right, anything else for seniors? Are we all done with seniors? Okay, Einison,
Are we gonna do the same thing with Einstein? We're gonna lock it and say it's done and.
yes.
Yeah, the neighbors have been begging for me to lock it, and I
Okay.
have to say, there's been people down there hanging out.
Okay,
At
so
night.
I think we can,
So we'll put it for the same, we can go ahead and lock it now, or do you wanna do it for?
I'm okay with locking it now if everybody else is. It's been a lot down there at
I
night.
think we should be consistent and just say, let's lock all of them on the same date.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Just for
There's been a lot of
consistency.
traffic, just so you know. I will, but maybe I'll call the PD and let them know.
Because we could lock it on November 30th with the other one.
Yeah.
That's right around
It's
the
coming right
corner.
up.
All right. So Purington, any news for Purington? Nope. Okay, that's good. Gazebo, so we talked about the benches needing to be repaired. We also have the Eagle Scout project that is making benches. He has 8 complete that are in the bathroom at Chase. He's planning to do 10 more. So he'll have 18 total that PARC will be able to decide where they want to disperse them.
Do they have the little things to get them in the ground
We have a bunch, but not enough.
for all of them?
Yeah,
Some of
so,
them might be movable, but the ones at
Yep.
the lake was the concern about
yep,
making sure they're anchored.
yep. So he does have, he was given some anchors.
That's good,
We're gonna look for some more,
yeah.
so. And then the only thing I think as I look at them is that they may need to have like the edges sanded, because they're all rough cut, pre-treated lumber or pressure treated. So that's just me, but my opinion doesn't count, so. If we can't get any that go onto, or go to the gazebo, we might be able to look into replacing the boards on the cement
Yeah.
frames that are there.
I think they're bolted in, so
Yeah.
you probably could remove the bolts and take them out and put them back.
Yep, so. That would be,
One other item for the gazebo.
yep. Oh,
Decorating.
Christmas tree, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When did we do that last year?
Right around
Day after
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Was it the weekend after?
I think it was like,
It was either the Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It was the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So it was the 26th last year.
Do we know where the decorations are?
I have some of them.
Do you have all the lights and everything?
I wonder, did we put some of them downstairs here?
I thought they were at Inison in the pump house. Is that thought, that's where we stuck them.
If they were there, they're not there now, because I just put some stuff in there.
You know what? I think Janine has them, because I had them in my car.
I think I ended up with them.
Okay.
Can you just take a look and see
Yeah.
what you have in case we need to run
Yeah.
in?
Yep, I will. Let me set an alarm for me to do that tomorrow afternoon.
So do we want to try to schedule the Saturday after?
I think that worked out for most of us.
Yep.
And maybe what we could do is, when it gets closer, just put a time out,
Yep,
look at what the temperature's gonna be,
yeah.
get the warmest part of the day.
I agree, because I don't want to be
Yeah,
out
that
there
was
when
rough.
when it was really, when it's super cold.
Yeah. I think we've had 2 weekends there.
No, last year was nice. It wasn't
I
Was the
think
too
one
putting it
cold.
up wasn't bad, I wasn't
Yeah.
here to take it down, so I don't know.
But we remembered how to put it up.
So are we gonna see if we get a donated tree, or what are we gonna do? for
I
the
will
tree?
contact the person who has been
Okay,
so I'm setting an alarm for myself, and I'll actually just text her. Donations for gazebo tree. It's gonna go off,
All right,
it's gonna go off
so
in a little bit, just so you know.
Christmas gazebo decorations will be the 25th, right?
I've gotta
That's
make
the
this
Saturday
so-
after.
So Saturday after, and then the 6th, we need to be at the, what time does that start?
4.
Denise?
it starts at 4.
So we probably want to be
Be
there a
there
little.
by 3. I mean, I'll probably get there earlier, I'll work with the school.
I work at a school, so getting there at that time might be a problem, but we'll
That's-
see.
Yeah, you know, like I said, the kids are supposed to be, doing
Yeah.
it, but obviously we need, whatever, so.
We need,
Oh, yeah, I already put it in here, 4 o'clock, 6, okay. Yep. And then, what day is the tree decorating?
Saturday, November 25th.
What time, we wanna go for,
We're gonna hold off on
Okay.
setting a time right now.
I would say if on Friday, we look at what the temp's gonna be on Saturday,
Yeah.
and then just shoot off a text message, pick a
Yeah.
time.
yeah, and I think, yeah, okay, I'm gonna definitely need to, because I think I've got kids who've got things going on that day, so I'm gonna have to check.
Okay. Do we remember how we put the tree up last year?
Yeah, it was bolted in the floor.
Okay,
But we didn't do that.
so maybe we can ask
Ryan did
Ryan's
that.
to assist with that part of it.
Maybe.
Okay.
If he's around, he'll probably be around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And I think it's just a matter of if we still have enough lights and bows, then we don't have to run and buy anything.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know that we even have money to go buy anything
Yeah.
unless somebody wanted to donate them. Last year,
Our,
last year I went and cut a bunch of boughs.
yeah,
Yeah.
Which I would be willing to do if it's not super freezing.
right.
Yeah.
It's super cold, I don't know.
That
I
was
think-
hard though, because I think, you know what, now come to think of it, I think last year I took it down with Eva. I want to say that I took it down with Eva last year. When we took everything off, it was Eva and I and Matt.
I showed up late.
Yeah, you came late.
I don't know why, but I did.
Eva was wicked sick.
All right, so we
I'm
have,
trying to, like, I remember it was cold, so those boughs are really pretty, but they're a pain to take down, that's what reminded me.
it's whether we want greenery
Yeah.
or not, I don't really care.
Can you skip it?
We can keep an eye out,
Okay.
and if it's too cold to go do it, then I wouldn't, I wouldn't ask you to put too much into it.
I mean, I cut a bunch yesterday, but.
If we still have the red bows, we can put the bows
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
so.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Anything else for the gazebo?
No.
Okay. East Road update?
Before we do that one, you wanna stick in the skate park? I don't
Oh,
think we
yes.
had it on here, cause we, just to get an update on.
Oh, I did have it on here and it must have gotten, I must have removed it.
But I think we all got the report from the insurance company,
Yes.
there was only 3 minor fixes, and one, I think he was already planning to put a finish on it.
Yep.
So it was really just the 2 other ones. Did we want to take any action today so that if he completes those 3 items, it's good to go, or do we, otherwise we wait till our December meeting?
I think we can make a motion to take it based on the report from Primex. If those items are taken care of, then we should be able to accept his donation. He'll have to present it to the Board of Selectmen because they ultimately have to approve it. But as long as Primex signs off on it, I don't have a problem accepting it.
Is he painting it in spring then?
I got the sense from the email that he sent that the sooner we could get to him, he was gonna try to seal it. Well, I thought he was gonna seal the wood for the winter. Now, whether he's gonna paint it in the spring,
I don't know if you can put anything on that right now with the temperatures. But,
Yeah, it's supposed to-
He said,
Yeah, I was just
he
looking
said,
at
I
the-
plan on adding a water sealant to the plywood after it is inspected and approved to help with winter production.
Okay.
which was what I think one of the
And-
3 things was to put something on it.
Yeah, I actually jumped to the middle of the paragraph. The paragraph begins, in order to let the pressure treated plywood sit for a recommended 6 months, I will be returning in the spring to paint the platforms. I plan on adding a water sealant to the plywood,
In the spring
uh,
or for the winter?
for the winter,
Okay.
so.
So, I mean, so could we just make a motion that if he reports to us that he's completed,
The winterization.
the 3 items were move the cement blocks in to prevent tripping.
Yep.
There was an edge in one of the pictures that he needed to sand down. It was in Primex's picture that they sent. And then to put a sealant on it. Those were the 3 items that I recall.
I just looked at it, and that's what they were.
Okay. So I will make a motion to accept Ben Lanier's Eagle project of the skate park ramp that he has built, provided he addresses the 3 issues raised by Primex.
and I second.
All in favor? Any more discussion first? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's 4 of us. Okay. So we can respond to him and let him know, and then he will have to contact Naomi to get on the Board of Selectmen agenda
Are you gonna email
when he's
him?
ready. Yeah, I can email
Okay.
him.
Thank you.
All right. So as far as the East Road project goes, I think since our last meeting, we had a meeting with the select board. Unfortunately, it was the same night as something else that was going
Got busy.
because I don't know if the select board was aware, but the entire foyer out there onto the porch were full of parents and their students, wanting to give some support to the project, so, I think we had a good turnout. Unfortunately, most of them had to go home and get the kids to bed, so they didn't have an opportunity to speak. The end result of the presentation was that I will be going back on the 28th to a work session. Salem, I don't know, so I put together, I went through all the minutes back to 2011.
Okay.
So I went to the Conservation Commission, and then I did grab some Finance Committee, Select Board, and I have copies of them, but I actually cut and paste the sections where they talked about that property into a spreadsheet.
Okay.
So we could go chronologically, starting from the first date it showed up down through and what was said, including the date that the public session was held and the vote, because to be honest, there was very little in any minutes before the public session,
deliberative.
and then there was a lot more after. So it's just really how you look at the town vote, and then all the different things people decided afterwards.
Yeah, and we've dedicated, if not that entire meeting, like 90% of it to this topic.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to do, because I know you guys are busy, is really consolidate everything so we could
I
quickly
think that's great.
go through it. I did I hope I'm not overstepping and you guys can ignore it, but I did throw together some possible, if there was a decision to take it to town vote, I crafted a potential warrant article.
That's helpful, yes.
So, and just also as a side note, I think I got an email last night from Ware Athletic Club, and they have already, and they're not done yet, they have gathered, I believe he said, 450 signatures, 415 signatures of parents in support of either the town appropriating that part of the field, or at least putting it to a warrant article. I think he wrote a petition and had people sign it. I asked him if he would get me a copy, just as a point of reference for the 28th. I have been contacted already by one business company in Ware, asking to meet with us if this goes through. I don't know if it will, but they're interested in some sponsorship and WAC has had numerous businesses reach out to them, offering to assist with fundraising or potential naming. So I think there's a lot of
Groundswell
opportunity
of
for
support.
some fundraising, to raise the money for this. So I think it's gonna come down to reviewing all the minutes and then the Board of Selectmen just deciding which way they're gonna go, or whether they'll go back to town vote. The one thing I don't have, and I'm gonna try to go back through the folder again tomorrow, is several of the minutes reflect that there was an agreement, a signed agreement, but I have yet to be able to find it.
That was a common theme when
Yeah.
you were here for our meeting.
Yeah, so I will go, now that I kind of know what I'm looking for, I'll go back through the folder one last time before the 28th. But that's the one thing I haven't been able to get my hands on, but,
It doesn't, that signed agreement that we're missing, shouldn't it matter what was on what the voters voted for first? Because it was whatever the select board at the time, or
I-
whoever at the time put through, whatever the voters voted for,
you'll,
that warrant article.
you'll see in the minutes, for example, the warrant article, I think designated the select board as the overseer. But there's a lot of comments in the minutes after that the Conservation Commission gave money contingent upon them having control. I mean, there was a lot of things that seem to have happened regardless of what was in the warrant article, and I think you know, that's part of what I think we all have to look at in the work session is the voters. One of the individuals who spoke at the select board meeting and talked about the intent, but he also spoke at the public session, and nowhere in the minutes of the public session was there any discussion that there would be restrictions on any portions of those fields. And yes, there was no dissent at that meeting, but there were no details presented. So would there have been more discussion had more details been presented? You know, that's part of what I hope that the select board will look at is, what was presented at the town meeting, what was voted on, and then where do we go from there? So I'm just trying to pull everything together, and I will try to email it out. Do you guys get the emails have you seen? Because I've sent a
I've
couple.
seen a lot, so
Okay, I just want to make sure, because I never get a response back, so I'm just not sure if you get them, or, because I try to use
And I
not
think-
your personal emails, but the town emails.
so, and I get the park emails, and I get, as long as it's where.nh.gov,
Okay,
and
so-
not where.nh.gov.
So I'm gonna try to send the spreadsheet out before the 28th meeting, because that would at least
Yes.
give everybody a quick synopsis, and then if they want the full minutes, because it's hard, some of them are 4 pages of minutes that have nothing to do with that property. So instead of giving you a whole bunch of pieces of paper, I just cut and paste
Yep.
that portion.
Um,
And put the date of the meeting and which commission or committee it was that was meeting,
Okay.
so.
I don't remember how we structured that. Is that, do you happen to remember, is that gonna be a joint meeting with conservation? Or were they sending a representative? I don't remember.
I don't remember, I don't know.
It would be good if you could send that to them as well,
Okay,
so they don't feel blindsided.
I do want to thank you, Denise, for all of the legwork that you
Yes.
have put into this. It's
A lot.
very appreciated, because without you spearheading it, I think we would still be
we're all
stuck in the mud.
Working.
So thank you very
working all the
much.
time.
I think the other thing related to that, so I didn't make copies of it because I'm killing my printer at home, but, and I can email it, and I think I might have, but we did get one engineering firm.
Okay.
I haven't reached out to the other two, but one of the things I'll be asking the select board, based on whatever decision they make, is then do we go forward? Let's just say they said we would like to take it back to the voters. Do we craft a warrant article, should that pass in favor of using the property, a warrant article that would fund us next year to do a site plan, because otherwise you're waiting a whole nother year. If the article were to fail, if we got to that point, then that article would be, rated such that it would be no. This one here came out at, and I need other people to read it because I'm not necessarily, I don't know if they missed things, but it came out at right around $25,000, so it wasn't as much as
We
I
thought,
thought it might be. For parcel evaluation and conceptual development and preliminary cost estimates. So that would give us at least some sense of how many fields we could get in a piece of property that size.
Yep.
Is there anything with the parcel that would prevent any, like water or whatever?
okay.
It was interesting because if you look at some of the minutes, designation of wetland, I believe they got a okay not to put that on there because most of the land was gonna be in conservation. So the planning board waived them having to put any wetlands on the map. So,
We may have wetlands and not know it.
exactly.
Okay.
There was a couple of things that they got waived and,
Yeah, I think they would make you redo that anyway, just because it's been
Yeah.
years.
so you just don't know what you would run into, but,
Can I add some research
Yeah.
to you ahead of the 28th? How big are Bolton, Inison, Barrington, acreage-wise? And I know it's, some of it's parking lot and whatever, but or I guess how much acreage is dedicated to fields? So if we could, I know we're talking about the site plan to come up with final, like how many fields, but if we could at least talk some rough
Conceptualize.
ideas,
So-
yeah.
I
'Cause
pulled,
one of the big, if it's so contentious and then we realize we could fit 2 fields.
Yeah.
ugh.
yeah. I did,
Fields is still really good for us.
so, a couple things, I did pull the cards on all those, but unfortunately, they don't lay out the pieces of the property. Like Inison is a multiple,
Yeah.
it's a big piece of property, they don't say 2 acres is taken up by ball fields. But, I do know that Bolton, there's a file upstairs with the plans that might help me get a sense of how many acres that particular one is. I did pull a document off the internet that I found that gave, for every soccer field, you need X acres. For every baseball field, you need X number of acres. And I was surprised at how little acreage you needed for like multi-purpose fields and stuff like that. I don't think I have, I don't know that I can put my hands on it real quick. But anyways, I
Yeah,
did find.
just because I'm sure that'll
yeah.
come up in
Okay.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I will look at, I'll see if I can, if I come down here tomorrow to look at the other ones, I'll see if I can pull the files on those, and if there's any plans, at least get a sense of what the acreage is.
You said, it's not the 28th, is it?
No.
It's gotta be the 27th.
Oh, all right, I probably had the
Just,
date wrong,
just making sure we're,
yeah. Whatever Monday that
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
Yeah, it's the 27th.
All right, so I'll pull that, and then I have the minutes, so that's really kind of what I'm coming at it, you know, with, and then you guys can just decide. And I'll try to get all of that out before, probably next week sometime, so that you guys will have time
Yeah,
to
that's
take a
great.
look at it.
thank you.
All right, I think our additional business is just parking lot stuff that we're not addressing at this time. Is there any other topics that we haven't addressed or touched upon? I guess we're ready to adjourn.
Other than we do need new members.
Yeah.
All right, so I will call for adjournment at 8:10 PM. Our next meeting will be December 12th, 7 PM, town offices. Alrighty, thank you, everyone.
Did we have to make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, I make a motion to adjourn at 8:10.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Yeah, record time. Look at that. Home by 8:30.
This was a very short meeting.
So if you hit end stream up at the top. Lisa, you want to hit that switch?